Hold on 1 second. Yo, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, your host with the most, misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, alongside with me being a Queens, New York native who is also a New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And yes, you're now rocking with me by listening, tuning in, streaming, and watching the 412th episode of the comedy off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast. I do apologize for a little delay. I had to really set up my sound effects on my tablet actually. It was like basically um it was basically freezing up and stuff. So my apologies for a little delay. But um but yeah, I'm back with new topics, new topics, including in this episode we're going to be talking about the whole 106 and Park reunion and the two guys that did the Breakfast Club interview that did a little tease, and then there's the other former 106 and Park host that was in the Breakfast Club interview as well. So they're kind of separate and stuff. All that we'll get to that in due time, actually. So we're live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube and the comfort of my room where I do my podcast recordings. And please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel page G Money Stacks 555 for more live video podcast episode live streams. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and the topics. Tell me how you feel about the topics in each of those episodes, how you feel about it, and yeah, and and yeah, like I said, I apologize for a little delay when I started, so my apologies for a little bit of the hold up on my sound effects. So just bear with me here, and we'll get through this episode together. All right, so let's get into. We had a little situation recently at the Clark Street station. A marquee fell onto the Clark Street station. I'll break that. I'll break that down. I'll break down what happened in a segment that I like to call the New York Mass Transit Files, man. Let's get to it. Let's get to it right now. Hold up. All right. Let's break down what happened in Brooklyn recently with the marquee. All right. So let's get to it right here. So a little bit of the aftermath of what happened in Brooklyn. Um, and this is from the folks from AMNY. Um, Here's what's happening. The Clark Street subway station reopened on Tuesday after a historic Brooklyn hotel marquee came it over the weekend. The Brooklyn Heights station, home to 2 and 3 trains, reopened at 7:28 a.m. on August 5th, a pleasant surprise for riders during rush hour. The MTA confirmed the trains are making stops at Clark Street in both directions, and commuters have already started station. The station reopened at the um yeah, the station reopened. Hang on a second. Hang on. Yes, so the station reopened after the NYC Department of Buildings investigation of the Alnine collapse concluded the MTA. The DOB confirmed that um a order for the subway entrance has been lifted. FDNY sources said the incident occurred around 7:08 a.m. on August 3rd, less than a day after the metro area experienced a rare earthquake, though it does not appear that the tremor caused the collapse. Emergency crews received a call that the massive 10 to 20 marquee came tumbling down in front of the subway station located near 100 Henry Street. Damn. All right. No injuries were reported. Thank goodness nobody was hurt. Um, so that's really good news to hear. So, all right. So, the awning on Henry Street collapsed due to the severe despair. No, excuse me, disrepair of the steel beams, which were completely corroded through at multiple locations. A DOB spokesperson said the agency issued two violations to the property owner for failure to properly maintain two awnings at the site. End quote. We are grateful that no one was hurt in this incident, the spokesperson said. Property owners should be aware that they have an important legal responsibility to properly upkeep their buildings in a safe condition. As we saw with this awning collapse earlier this week, failing to implement appropriate maintenance procedures can result in extreme hazards for the public. Council member Lincoln Wrestler, who represents the area, had been pushing to get the station reopened since it closed on Sunday following the incident. He was at the scene when scaffolding was being installed around the collapsed structure on Monday. End quote. As of 6:45 a.m., NYC Buildings has approved reopening the Clark Street subway station. The MTA has been at the ready, and the subway should be running eminently. Excuse me, he said on August 4th, which was a Monday. All right. Give me 1 second here. All right. Next transit topic has to do. Hang on a second. Next transit topic has to do with a bus accident that happened in Queens Village, and this is from Queens Chronicle. All right. A man operating a crane truck collided with a bus in Queens Village today, which took place July 8th. The MTA said the incident involving the Q88 bus occurred at approximately 7:07 a.m. at Amboy Lane and Springfield Boulevard. Jeez. Jeez. They really need they yeah, I really feel for those bus drivers, man, that they have to deal with crane operators who do craziest thing. So that's crazy though, man. That's crazy right there, man. Um, a spokesman from the NYPD said that the preliminary investigation from police revealed that a 46-year-old male bus driver was traveling east on Amboy Lane, attempting to make a left on the boulevard when the 53-year-old crane operator traveling south on the corridor slowed for a light and collided with the bus. EMS rushed the bus driver and three female passengers, 23, 51, and 59, to an area hospital for minor injuries, said the spokesperson. WABC, which first reported on the incident, said at least one of the injured was taken to Long Island Jewish Hospital Valley Stream. which is in Long Island. The operator of the vehicle, 2, refused medical attention on the scene, said the spokesperson. There is, there is no arrest and the investigation remains ongoing. Oh, thank goodness nobody is dead. So all right, so let's get into some recaps of what happened with the B with the interviews. I want to actually get into the interviews of the Breakfast Club with two guys named um yeah, you want to know who they are? I'll gladly take you to a segment that I'm going to actually get into right here right now, which is for trending topics that's being covered and not covered. So that's going to be chatting all the jazz right here. I want to get into some recaps of the Breakfast Club interviews from two guys from two CEOs who are working at BT, and then former former host of 106 in Park and everything else in between will be touched on. So let's get into it right here. This is from. Hang on a second. That's not it. That's not it. Hold on a second. Hold on. That's not it. Um. Okay. Hang on. So let me just find that story. Uh, they did an interview, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they did an interview. Here we go. Here we go. So months ago, of course, actually, so let me just all right. So here's what's happening here. 106 in Park, the beloved BET Countdown show, may be making its way back onto the airwaves in 2025. Famed for its iconic moments and performances, as well as its early championing of some of today's biggest names, 106 in Park has long etched itself into the DNA of pop culture. After coming to a natural end in 2014, BET CEO Scott Mills has hinted at an involved comeback for the series, appearing on The Breakfast Club alongside Chloe Bailey to promote the forthcoming NAACP Image Awards. Um, Mills teased a reimagining of the show for 2025. And they spoke with Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy, and Lauren LaRosa. And basically, what he said, in quote, people love 106 in Park. The fact that it doesn't work as a linear television show doesn't mean it's over. We can bring it. We can bring 106 in Park back as a podcast. Yes, that's the reason why I named this episode Will 106 in Park TV show become a podcast? Well, prepare for your answer, for your question to be answered. Yeah, yeah, we can bring 106 in Park as a podcast as a digital experience. We are working on bringing 106 in Park back in 2025. From the AJ and Free years to the Terrence J and Rocsi Diaz run, there's no denying that 106 in Park defines iconic. We're here for a comeback. Are you? Of course, you can check out the interview on the Breakfast Club YouTube channel page. But wait, there's more. There's more. And this is from thatgreatjuice.net, in case anybody's wondering. All right, so the other interview of the Breakfast Club, it's a family reunion. 106 in Park host Roxy Diaz, Terrence J, and AJ Calloway stopped by the Breakfast Club this morning that took place on May 8th. I was able to listen to that interview on YouTube, which you can catch that on their YouTube channel page. They dished on celebrating 25 years of 106 in Park, the show's impact, plus more. During their interview on the Breakfast Club, Terrence gave a taste of what to expect at the BET Awards 2025 with their celebration of the 25th anniversary of 106 in Park. He states in quote, "It's gonna be special. It's gonna be beautiful." Even with Diaz chiming in with how it's going to honor the show, and she says in quote, "It's gonna feel like the show all over again." They touch on the show's impact on the culture and music. The Money Talks host says, in quote, 106 in Park was the global hub for all of this. When they started, if you needed to see the number one video in the world, you had to go to BET's 106 in Park. The new artist, 106 in Park. The breaking stories, 106 in Park. Sports, fashion, technology, everything, 106 in Park was the hub for it. The We Got Time Today host added, when it comes to all of the hosts together, we just know that we're part of this amazing family that was able to be such an influence on the culture to this day. You're damn right. You're damn right. It was one of the most fucking popular shows on BET though. Calloway also gave his successors props on being able to take over after Free and himself. He says, in quote, honestly, these two people right here held it down for a longer time and with a lot of pressure on them. So to be able to do that and to hold it down with style and grace, gotta take my hat off to them. The former Entertainment Tonight correspondent gave her predecessor some love too. And she expresses, in quote, Free has always been a girl's girl, and she reached out to me because she knew and she held my hand through a lot of stuff that I went through. Kudos to Free because she really, really, really looked out for all the girls. When asked if a 106 in Park reboot would be a success if brought back, the Callaway Entertainment Group CEO believes that it would be. He states, in quote, it's crazy because the TV execs have arguments about it all the time. If a video show would still do well in a world where there's YouTube, and I honestly believe that it would. It's great to see the 106 in Park hosts all come together. And of course, obviously, I'll touch on the recap of the BET Awards in just a second. I do want to I do want to touch on two things actually. You're probably wondering during that Breakfast Club interview why Free wasn't there. She had to do something with, I believe it has to do with her teeth. So, you know what I mean? So she had to get her teeth fixed or whatever. So basically, that's what that was. And AJ Calloway, by the way, no, hold on. AJ actually, if I'm not mistaken, he announced that he's going to be starting a podcast. Um, I think it's called Out of the Park podcast, I believe, but not sure when that's going to come out or whatever. Um, so, so this is more like a wait and see. There's no release date, so this is more like a wait and see. And speaking of wait and see, let's do some highlights of the BET Awards, shall we? And of course, this is from people. Of course, the 2025 BET Awards have come to an end. It was hosted by Kevin Hart this year, and the annual award show honoring excellence in Black culture across all forms of entertainment went down on Monday, June 9th at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles, California, and aired live on BET. Kendrick Lamar was the night's top nominee, followed by Doechii, Drake, Future, and Glorilla, among others. Mariah Carey, Jamie Foxx, Kirk Franklin, and Snoop Dogg were each honored with the BET Ultimate Icon Award. Artists who performed at the 2025 BET Awards were Lil Wayne, Tiana Taylor, Glorilla, Playboy Cardi, Leon Thomas, Lettuce, Keisha Cole, T.I., aka TIP, Tiana Taylor, and more. Additionally, the ceremony featured a star-studded 25th anniversary celebration of 106 in Park featuring Ashanti, Maya, B2K, and more. From who took home awards to the biggest performances and other moments of the night, People has all the 2025 BT Awards highlights you need to know. Okay, so yeah, there you go. All right, let's take a look at the winners. Let's take a look at the winners. So let's take a look at the winners actually. So all right, so album of the year, obviously Kendrick Lamar for GNX took that one. SZA SZA won for best female R&B pop artist. Chris Brown won for best male R&B pop artist. Future and Metro Boomin won for best group. Best collaboration, Luther, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA. Best female hip hop artist, Doechii. Best male hip hop artist, Kendrick Lamar again. Video of the year, Not Like Us, obviously, by Kendrick Lamar. Video director of the year, Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar won that one. Best new artist, Leon Thomas won for best new artist. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see who else won. Okay, Dr. Dr. Bobby Jones Best Gospel Inspirational Award. Rain Down on Me by Glorilla featuring Kirk Franklin, Maverick. Let's get rid of that. Kirk Franklin, Maverick, um, City Music um, won won that category. Viewers Choice Award, Residuals by Chris Brown. He won that one. Best International Act. Um, didn't really say It didn't say who won that one, so I'm not sure about that one. So, um, best new international act. It didn't say exactly who won that one, so I'll skip that one. All right, so Heart of a Woman, um, the BET Her Award. Summer Walker won that one. Best movie, Luther Never Too Much. Wait, first of all, I I did hear about the biopic, but I never really knew when that movie came out. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look it up after I get off air. Best actor, Denzel Washington. He won that one. Cynthia Erivo, she won for best actress. Young Stars Award, Blue Ivy Carter. Sportswoman of the Year Award, Angel Reese. She won. Sportsman of the Year Award, Jalen Hurts. Okay, okay. So these are the winners. Let's see what else. What else? All right. So let's see. So follow. All right. So let's get to. Oh man. So yeah. So following his emotional BET Ultimate Icon Award acceptance speech, Kirk Franklin took the stage for an inspirational performance featuring Money Long, Tamar Braxton, and other guest artists. The crowd was up on their feet for the entire set, to the point where it was nearly unclear who was dancing and singing more. Franklin's choir of choreographed performers or the audience. Franklin even ended the performance with a mic drop before host Kevin Hart asked the crowd to make some noise for the icon. They both ended the moment with a hilarious argument about who's taller. You know good and hell well that Kevin Hart is not tall, man. He's short, man. And I think he's like 5'5", I believe, or 5'3", one of those heights. Yeah. All right. Glorilla won the Dr. Bobby Brown Best Gospel Inspirational Award for the song "Rain Down on Me" featuring Kirk Franklin and Maverick City, music from her Glorious album. During her acceptance speech, the rapper recalled feeling unsure if Franklin would want to collaborate with her before making the song. And end quote. Shout out to Kirk Franklin. I ain't gonna I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of scared to ask him for a feature on this song because y'all know how I be rapping. But I was like, oh my god. When he said yes, said Glorilla. I had this song in the vault for so long. During his BET Ultimate Icon Award acceptance speech, Snoop Dogg shouted out all three other nominees. No, excuse me, honorees: Kirk Franklin, Jamie Foxx, and Mariah Carey. While speaking about his relationship with Carey's music, Snoop spoke about hearing her music in a unique place behind bars. Mariah Carey, I always tell you this, when I was in the county jail in 1990, Vision of Love would come on Saturday mornings and we would race to the TV just to see you, he said. The rapper continued, so when I finally got a chance to meet you, and do a record with you. You treated me like family, and it's always been like that. So I love you, MC, and congratulations on your Icon Award. One of the night's BET Ultimate Icon Award honorees, Mariah Carey, spoke about how she's shockingly never won a BET Award before tonight. In quote, she states, I mean, if you are gonna get one night as well, if you're gonna get one, might as well start off with the Ultimate Icon Award. She choked on stage. But really, it's incredible to be here alongside Kirk Franklin, Jamie Foxx, and Snoop. I love you guys. Congratulations. Later in her speech, Carrie shared some words of wisdom. I just want to encourage everyone out there to believe in yourself, love, and respect yourself. Be a diva, be a boss, be anything you want to be, but be iconic while you are doing it. Following a star-studded tribute performance of his hits, Jamie Foxx teared up during his BET Ultimate Icon Award acceptance speech while looking back on his 2023 medical emergency. In quote, he states, I cannot even begin to express the love that I feel from everybody out there. I gotta be honest. When I saw the in memoriam, I was like, man, that could have been me, said Fox, who previously shared he suffered a brain bleed that led to a stroke. He talked about it on his Netflix special. Um, in case you didn't know, you can check that out on there on Netflix. But I don't know why I went through what I went through. But I know my second chance. I'm not going to turn down. I'm not going to turn down. I have so much love to give. Continued the Blame It artist. Glorilla opened her performance with Let Her Cook, surrounded by dancers in a kitchen set, bringing the song's lyrics to life. Dressed in a white suit with her backside exposed, she then put on a big white fur coat and sat at a piano. She was joined by Keisha Cole to debut their new collaboration, Typa, which samples Cole's classic hit Love. Hmm. After performing his hit Mutt earlier in in that night, Leon Thomas won Best New Artist, and his mom nearly missed the moment. Man, I just want to say my grandfather always used to tell me music is a team sport, and I want to thank God first and foremost, the couch of my life. He opened his speech. He states, in quote, my mother, she went on a bathroom break. She didn't get to see me win, said Thomas, as the camera panned to his mom, who made it back to her seat in the nick of time. But I'll tell you right now, we've been in this together my entire life, and I wouldn't be here without you, Mom. I love you so much. Amory recently celebrated her career with an NPR Tiny Desk performance of her hits. While many fans loved it, the video um, garnered mixed reactions online, but she's not sweating the response. In quote, anything you do is always going to have a mixed response. If you are looking for hands down, this Jesus didn't have 100% of people loving him. She tells people on the red carpet. So that's not going to be the case. But I felt like it was majority great. The one thing Singer continued, so I was like, okay, it's good. But as an artist, I'm a perfectionist. You are always like looking at what you can work on and how you can be better. But then also you gotta look at what you did well. And of course, you got yeah. So Lil Wayne celebrates the Carter albums with um the Carter's albums with high energy performance. So there you go. Fresh off the release of his new album, The Carter Six, Lil Wayne's performance began with a slideshow of all his The Carter album covers. Surrounded by a gospel choir, Wayne entered the stage and performed "Welcome to the Carter" from The Carter Six. He followed up the track with his classic hit "A Millie." And Mariah Carey's performance opened with DJ D Nice spinning some of her hits Dream Lover, Honey Obsessed, Heartbreaker, and more. Carey, plus a full band and many male dancers, then appeared on stage for the debut live rendition of her new single, Type Dangerous. She entered wearing a big coat, which was removed to reveal a sultry and short gold dress as she performed the new song, which reflects on her romantic life. Anderson Paak, who's been spending quite a bit of time with Carey, accompanied the songbird Supreme on drums. She was also joined by rapper Rakim, whose song Eric B is the President is interpolated on Type Dangerous. In celebration of the 25th anniversary of 106 in Park, BET recreated the iconic show's set and brought out many artists to perform hits released during its initial run. Ashanti opened the performance with a medley of Happy, Rock With You, and Foolish, while surrounded by dancers wearing all black. The jam packed performance continued with numbers from A. Marie, Keisha Cole, Maya, T.I., B2K, Bow Wow, and aka Mr. 106 in Park, and more stars. Following the music celebration, BET announced a new spinoff, 106 in Sports, coming soon to the network, which I'll talk about that in TV show checkout segment. Yeah, so there you go, right there. There you go. So the 25 BET Awards red carpet is closed for the night, but don't worry if you missed it. From Kiki Palmer to Shabuzi, so many stars turned out high fashion looks for culture's biggest night. And of course, obviously, yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. So Roxy Diaz wasn't at the reunion, so she gives an explanation. So the BET Awards 2025 continues to generate ample buzz thanks to its epic performances and lengthy list of memorable moments. As reported, the veteran host, who's run as co-anchor of the hit series with Terrence J, is synonymous with the Countdown Show, was to join forces with the full lineup of previous hosts to salute the 25th anniversary of 106. However, come the broadcast, Diaz was nowhere to be seen, prompting much debate on social media. Now she's speaking up and out. So So, taken to Instagram, the 43-year-old cited an immediate job opportunity as the reason for not participating in the reunion, expressing ample thanks for her time on 106 in Park, as well as appreciation for the executives who championed her. She also referred to entering one of the biggest stages of my career. Um, let's see. Um, and she said, I'm so sorry if I let you down. Just know I tried everything possible to be a part of the 106 and Park reunion. It really meant a lot to me to be there with my fellow host. 106 was by far the best thing that's ever happened to my life. 106 gave me the tools and foundation to become the TV host I am today. Also, because of you, the livest audience, you are the ones who have kept me relevant all these years later. Your love and support has been fuel for me to keep going and keep advocating for the culture on major platforms. On the topic, hang on a second. On the topic of platforms, I'm currently about to embark on one of the biggest stages of my career. I hope you will support this new project. More details coming soon as I can announce it. So just know it was because of an immediate job opportunity I was unable to take part in the reunion. Thank you for always being there for all my jobs. Thank you, BT, for being understanding and for your support. Jessica, Jesse, Jesse Collins Entertainment, Connie Orlando, and Scott Mills. Most of all, thank you, Stephen Grant Hill, for giving me the shot to be a part of history. Wow, that's some powerful shit, though, man. That's some powerful shit. I'm not gonna hold you. That is some powerful shit, though. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. One more 106 in Park thing that I gotta talk about here. So the 2025 BET Awards pulled out all the nostalgia stops to celebrate its 25th anniversary, delivering a history-making moment with a long anticipated 106 in Park reunion, complete with a replica of the original set stage inside Los Angeles Peacock Theater. The tribute brought back fan favorite hosts Free, Julissa Bermudez, Keisha Shante, Big Tigger from Rap City, and Terrence J to honor the iconic music um, countdown show that shaped an era of Black culture. Their reunion wasn't just a walk down memory lane. It set the tone for a night charged with throwback energy and unforgettable performances. Um, yeah. Ashanti took the stage with her timeless hit Unfoolish, followed by Jim Jones turning the entire theater into a sea of invisible jump shots with his anthem Ballin'. Amory Meyer and Keisha Cole reminded the world why women in 2000s R&B still reign supreme as T.I. returned with royal flair, reminding everyone why he still is the king of the South. And then there was B2K, who had grown women screaming like it was 2002 all over again with Bump, Bump, Bump. But the moment that sealed it all came when Bow Wow, affectionately known as Mr. 106 in Park, closed the tribute with Like You and Fresh as I'm, I'm is. Fresh as I'm is. Cementing his legacy as one of the show's most memorable artists and former host. Okay. Now, part of the reason why I wanted to do this topic um, is because a couple of months ago there was a page. I think it was a page on BT that did a post in regards to the reboot of 106 and Park, and then some people in the comments section was like, if there's no aging free, you, but also you have to realize that they're in their 50s. They're in their 50s right now, and I'm pretty sure they got kids too. So, you know what I mean. And that's one of the reasons why I named this episode "Will 106 and Park TV show become a podcast?" I think a podcast would be a lot easier than just doing a TV show, because everybody who watch 106 and Park basically are grown up right now. I mean, a lot has changed because of technology. A lot has changed because of technology, and it's like an evolution. It's like an evolution, and it's the same goes with hip hop. I want to actually touch on that for a little bit before I go into the next topic. Actually, as I was listening to one of the episodes of This or That web series, one of the guests was basically saying that hip hop is not dead, and he said that the reason that it's not dead is because this it's because of the style. The style of it has changed. Not just rappers in general, but the style of it has changed. You know what I'm saying? So so basically, when you think of evolution, you think of growth. That's pretty much what that is. And I say this all the time. You're not going to be able to hear from the same people from years ago, because the same people from years ago already ventured off to different things. I mean, Ice Cube is an entrepreneur with the big three basketball. I mean, you and you even have like other people that they're venturing off into into podcasting and all the other stuff. So you'll be surprised. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that all music is whack though. I think it depends on I think it depends on which artist is actually not just good, but it all depends on what's for you versus the one that is not. So that's just my take on it. That's just my take on the whole 106 and Park thing becoming a podcast. Um, like I said, there's no release date on AJ's out out of out of wait, what is it? Out of the Park podcast. We're not sure when that's coming out though, but it's more like a wait and see. So that's pretty much what I gotta say on that one right there. Um, so yeah. All right. All right. Now that I got that out the way, let's talk let's talk about let's talk about Nike Air Force Ones for a sec actually. Let's talk about that though. And this is for some of you sneakerheads out there actually. So let me fill you in on what's going on here. And this is from Hype Beast. But before I even do this, man, I want to make some noise for all the people who got their awards at the BT Awards, including the 106 in Park reunion, including Bow Wow, aka Mr. 106 in Park, who came through. even though Roxy couldn't make it because she has another opportunity that came to her and all that good stuff. So let me make some noise for. I want to make some noise for um, the 106 and Park reunion, um, and of course, the performances that happen, and everything else in between. All right, on to Nike Air Force One. All right, so a little bit of everything. Let me just get into it. So Nike is playing rough with the Air Force One low medium ash and anthracite. For those of you who may not know, it's A-N-T-H-A, excuse me, ANTHRACITE. The upcoming model delivers a gritty take on the traditionally clean shoe, starting off with gray textured leather uppers. Its lateral panel swoosh arrives as 3D printed checks that's fitted with gold screws, with the latter also making an appearance on the tongue tag. Additional branding can be found on the faded insoles, embroidered, embroidered, excuse me, embroidered Nike Air heel tag and embroidered mini check by the toe box. The sneaker then rests on a matching midsole and outsole spray paint like detailing, while rope laces tie it together for a tenacious look. Hmm. Yeah. So there you go right there. And so I wanted to touch on the sneaker part real quick before I got into the Hershey's part. So yeah, there you go. Um all right, let's get to the Hershey's and then I get to the Oreos part. And this is from Tasting Table. Um Tasting Table. So let's get into it right here. All right. Hershey's chocolate bars are one of America's favorites. While its original incarnation in 1900 was a milk chocolatey delight, the modern varieties include a bevy of Hershey bar flavors, ranging from basic to out of this world. The Hershey's bar wrapper has seen quite a bit of change over the decades, mostly for practical reasons. The first instance of a foil inter wrap was introduced around 1906, though this was replaced in the 1940s with a white glass sign paper, excuse me, in an effort to reduce production costs. At the end of 1984, the foil inner wrap returned, remaining a brand staple until the early 2000s. Around 2003, Hershey swapped out the well known combination of a foil inner wrap and paper wrapper with a single thin seal film wrapper for the purposes of maintaining freshness. Hershey updated its film wrapper once more in 2016 by adding silver edges to its thin seal to mimic its former look. After all, keeping chocolate fresh can be trick tricky, particularly your favorite chocolate bars. In fact, you should never keep chocolate in the fridge, as the temperatures can alter the taste and texture of your favorite sweet. Well, I don't know. I don't know anybody that actually puts Hershey's chocolate bars in the fridge. I guess some people do that so the chocolate doesn't melt. All right, so let's see. Always a step ahead in confectionery innovations. It seems the Hershey Company took the initiative to update its packaging in a way that both looks appealing and keeps its products in in an optimal state of freshness. The cosmic upgrade in the mid 2010s simply proves how iconic the chocolate bar's classic appearance is. Okay, an icon of sweetness. Let's see. Let's see. All right, with a wide variety of chocolate treats, including some hits, misses, and beloved cult favorites you might not remember, there's still nothing quite like a good old fashioned Hershey bar. To this day, to this day, Hershey is the brand of chocolate most eaten in the U.S. Whether you are preparing a batch of summertime or decorating chocolate cupcakes with tiny squares broken off of your favorite bar. These chocolates are highly versatile and widely acclaimed. There's also a lot to be said about product development and how Hershey's has stood the test of time since its appearance in 1900. With over a century of chocolate production and development to speak of, this brand has always adapted to the times and done its best to keep customers satisfied. Although the foil inner wrap was a staple of the Hershey's bars image, doing away with it was in the best interest of putting forth a great product. What's more, including a small tribute by upgrading the new wrapper with a throwback style, keeps these chocolate bars as tasty as they are recognizable. Okay, so there you go. So there you go, right there. And of course, Oreo cookies, my favorite. Oreo cookies, my favorite though. So there you go. And this is from yahoo.com. Let's get into it right here. Damn, why does it keep doing that? Oh man, why does it keep doing that? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second, folks. Um, Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Oreo has a new limited edition flavor in town that fans say sounds incredible. The fan favorite sandwich cookie only dropped a highly anticipated flavor collab with Reese's, but that didn't prevent it from developing a fall ready recipe perfect for those who really don't care for pumpkin spice flavored anything. Still, fans say it will be tough to compete with the recently returned favorite Oreo blueberry pie. Seemingly inspired by an older release, Oreo's new apple pie a la mode cookies take it up a notch with an apple pie and vanilla ice cream flavored cream filling layered between two crispy vanilla sandwich cookies, according to an official description. So, social media users have high hopes that this could be a new favorite, teasing that the brand set the bar high with its blueberry version. I finally tried the blueberry pie one, so good. A second exclaimed, "I'm definitely trying these next." These sound incredible for sure. Another Instagram user declared in response to the news. Apple pie and blueberry pie in the same year. A different user noted in disbelief. Oreo is really coming for my waistline. A fourth joke. Oh man, that's funny right there. That's funny. Um, yeah, that's some funny shit though. Oh shit. Oreo, you are killing me. Excuse me, you're killing it this year. Someone else gushed. I'm here for Apple season. Another wrote before one more cheered. I know these going to be good. Oreo's new apple pie lime mold cookies are currently available online, of course, for $9.99 for a 2 pack, and are expected to head to major retailers across the country in the coming weeks, with some fans claiming to have already spotted the bags at CVS. Trusted food blogger marquee underscore um, Devo suggested a national rollout on or around August 11th. So there you go, right there. There you go, right there. All right. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right. All right. We gotta talk about Stephen Colbert. We gotta talk about Stephen Colbert. Actually, this is crazy. Actually, this is crazy. This is crazy. Actually, let's talk about it. Actually, let's talk about it in the hold on a second here. Let's talk about it in TV show checkouts actually. So let's get into it right here. This is the section where I actually talk about some TV shows, some new and upcoming, the ones that's returning and all that other stuff. So let's get into it right here, right now with TV show checkouts. All right, so here's what's happening with Stephen Colbert. All right, so the late show may be ending, but Stephen Colbert has already booked another late night role, sort of. The comedian age 61 will play a late night host in an upcoming season 3 episode of the CBS dramedy Elsbeth. Sources say the show, a spinoff of The Good Wife, stars Carrie Preston as an attorney and de facto detective. CBS declined to comment. The news was first reported by Vulture. Colbert's appearance as a guest star on another CBS show will be notable in the wake of the network's controversial decision to cancel The Late Show. But even before that shock news was announced, Colbert expressed interest in popping up on Elsbeth, ideally as a dead body. A dead body? Really? A dead body? While speaking to Elsbeth star Wendell Pierce on The Late Show in February, Colbert playfully asked, Will you talk to somebody over there? Because I keep asking CBS, I want to be a corpse on one of these shows. He joked. I want to be the I want to be the body that's found behind the pile of lettuce boxes. Pierce assured Colbert he could make that happen. Elsbeth, Elsbeth will return for its third season on October 12th. Numerous other stars have had guest roles on the series, including Jane Krakowski, um, Retta, Rob Riggle, Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick, Keegan Michael Key, Alan Ruck, and Laurie Metcalf. Colbert's Late Show will end in May 2026, he announced July 17th. The surprise move sparked outcry and claims that CBS canceled the show to appease President 47, Cheeseface President 47, given Colbert is a prominent critic. And it had it is basically about the Paramount Global and Skydance merger. However, CBS said it was purely a financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. Colbert's Elsbeth appearance will mark a somewhat rare acting role for the comedian. In recent years, he also had a voice role in the animated film Despicable Me 4 and appeared in one episode of the sitcom Girls Five Ever as a fictional songwriter. Before The Late Show, Colbert flexed his acting chops every night on Comedy Central's The Colbert Report, on which he played a fictional conservative pundit, also named Stephen Colbert. Colbert has not said what he might do next after The Late Show, but while interviewing comedians Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers late last month, he alluded to the possibility of starting his own podcast, which is a good move because if you do a podcast, you don't have to worry about your show getting canceled by industry corporations. Let's see. Colbert said to Yang and Rogers, the host of La Culturistas, I'm going to need a gig soon, so sell me on podcasting. Is it fun? Of course it's fun. Of course it's fun. What did you expect? Oh man. What did you expect, man? Ain't nothing boring about that shit. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. What else is oh yeah. Let's touch on that 106 in sports. Let's get into that 106 in sports part. Shit. 106 in sports on BT. Okay, let's see. All right. So BT is launching a sports talk show this fall, hosted by NFL MVP Cam Newton and CBS Sports reporter Ashley Nicole Moss. Why it matters, you ask? The network is betting on nostalgia and celebrity appeal to draw audience. The big picture, the weekly series called 106 in Sports will feature a lead story, celebrity interviews, fashion critiques, viral highlights, hot takes, and debates. It will be a spin-off of 106 in Park and a music-focused staple on the network from 2000 to 2014. Friction Point, the announcement of the series during Monday night's BET Awards, received a lukewarm reaction from fans. Behind the scenes, 106 in Sports will be filmed in front of a live studio audience in New, Newtown, Newton's hometown of Atlanta. The former Carolina Panthers and New England Patriots quarterback has made several appearances as a commentator on ESPN and hosts two talk shows on his YouTube channel. Spring Hill, the studio within Fall Well Entertainment, owned by LeBron James and Maverick Carter, will produce the show. What we're watching, BT has not yet announced if the series will be available on its streaming service, BET Plus. Well, this is a wait and see. This is a wait and see, right? All right. All right, let's get to all right. Let's get to let's get into some movie news, man. You know what I mean? Let's get into some movie news right here and start off with yeah. All right. Movie Man Cave Popcorn segment. Yeah, we're gonna get into the let's get into the box office. Um let's get into the box office though, man. Okay, let's see. Let's get into the box office. All right, so the word of mouth on Fantastic First Steps has been extremely surprising, especially recently, despite receiving solid reviews from critics and having one of the biggest opening weekends of 2025. The buzz around the movie has almost entirely shifted after its second weekend. Despite only being in theaters for 10 days, certain parts of the internet have deemed the film a flop after having a steeper than expected drop at the box office. After grossing $117 million domestic $117 million in its domestic opening weekend, the film went on to a disappointing $38 million in its second weekend. Damn. With Superman having a steady $58 million after a $125 million opening weekend, people were shocked that the Fantastic Four First Steps failed to replicate its success. Despite a 67% drop in its second weekend, the Fantastic Four First Steps remains one of the highest grossing movies at the domestic box office in 2025. While its second weekend drop isn't exactly what people were hoping for, it's far from a colossal failure that people have let it out to be. Despite what people are saying online, the Fantastic Four First Steps is still performing quite well at the box office. The film has a budget of roughly $200 million, and the film made $250 million, which is pretty good. $1 million in its worldwide opening weekend. Let's see. Opening over the film's budget is a great sign of becoming a success for the studio. Even though it had a bigger second weekend drop than expected, its worldwide total stood at around $370 million. Received wisdom dictates a movie must earn 2 to 2.5 times its production budget to break even, thanks to additional costs like marketing. At the minute, the Fantastic Four First Steps is still projected to make somewhere between 520 to $570 million. In other words, it's likely set to make a small profit and bring in other films in 2025. The film is grossing higher than all of them. Domestically, the film has already passed the other two MCU films released this year, those being Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts. The worldwide gross is also close to passing both films, with the two scoring $415 million and $382 million, respectively. Besides Deadpool and Wolverine, which became the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, the Fantastic Four First Steps is looking to be the highest grossing MCU movie since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which would be a great win for the studio. The film is also still performing well in comparison to almost every other film in 2025. Domestically, its $208 million gross stands as the seventh highest grossing movie of the year. The film has the potential to break into the top five, with How to Train Your Dragon and Sinners standing at $260 million and $278 million. If the Fantastic Four First Steps continues to have a steep drop, then it may not end up reaching these two films. But being the seventh highest grossing movie of the year domestically it's in itself is not an insignificant achievement. While the Fantastic Four First Steps wasn't expected to have a bigger drop than as it did, it isn't anything uncommon with Marvel. Just this year, Captain America Brave New World had a 68% drop in its second weekend despite having no competition. The Fantastic Four First Steps went up against Superman and Jurassic World Rebirth, which are two of the highest grossing movies of the year that are showing excellent legs at the box office. If anything, it should be commendable that the Fantastic Four First Steps didn't gross less than it did in its first and second weekend, as it could have easily performed worse with its fierce competition. Marvel movies usually have between a 50 to 70% decline in their second weekend. While most Marvel films like Thunderbolts and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 are able to stay in the 50% range, going beyond 60% isn't common. In Doctor Strange um in the multiverse of madness had a 63% and 67 drop in their second weekend, but were not even remotely discussed as flops. Hmm. Even Spider-Man: No Way Home, one of the highest grossing movies of all time, had a 67 percent drop in its second weekend, especially with blockbusters that open with over $100 million in their opening weekend. It is very common that the second weekend drops are fairly big. And pretending that the Fantastic Four First Steps is any different than these films is strange. If the Fantastic Four First Steps were taken out of theaters today, it may even be within an acceptable reaching distance of its production and market budget. But the film also has weeks, if not months, to gross millions more. People have been way too quick to judge a film's performance when the final tally hasn't even been close to beginning. Yeah, some of you YouTubers always quick to actually judge a movie thinking that it's going to flop based on the budget or whatever, but it's not even the final. It doesn't even have the final numbers. So how about see the movie for yourself, and then you make your analysis. So there you go. All right. So unless the film continues to decrease by 60% every weekend, the widespread message of the Fantastic Four First Steps being a flop is highly unwarranted. Of course, it's in theaters right now. Let's see how it did in the box office. Let's see how it did in the box office. How did it do in the box office? This is yeah. So how did it do in the box office, you ask? Okay, Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps took a tumble at the box office in its second weekend, with a headline grabbing 66% drop for its sophomore showing. That's become something of a refrain for Marvel in 2025, which saw similarly disappointing theatrical returns for Thunderbolts in spite of positive reviews and a big second weekend drop on Captain America Brave New World. Variety's reporting on the Fantastic Four First Step second week ticket sales called it a cratering and noted that its week to week drop was akin to similar stumbles for past Marvel pariahs Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and Thor Love and Thunder. Deadline was kinder to First Steps performance, putting it in the context of other front loaded superhero films, while noting that DC Studios Superman held stronger at the box office. It did. Let, let me tell you something. Superman did over $500 million actually, which is pretty strong actually. That's one of the best superhero movies that's doing well in the box office. So, um, in spite of the steep drop, the Fantastic Four still managed to score the number one spot on the weekend box office charts, pulling in another $40 million to bring the film's domestic haul to $198 million, according to Box Office Mojo. First Steps is now at $368 million worldwide and looks like it will sneak past Marvel Studios' two other 2025 theatrical releases to land in the top 10 films of 2025. Incidentally, the Fantastic Four First Steps had a higher opening weekend than some of Marvel's fundament, excuse me, foundational hits like Iron Man, The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, and others. But it's the drop off that has some fans and probably Disney executives concerned. First Step's failure to reignite passion for the Marvel Cinematic Universe may be a worrying sign for other reasons. It may be illustrative not of superhero fatigue in general, but of declining interest in yet another Marvel super team or in the Marvel Studios formula specifically. The studio wanted to have it both ways with Fantastic Four. The movie is positioned as a fresh start, putting Marvel's first family in its own standalone universe, for now untethered to 36 previous MCU movies. But it's also designed to welcome new big cosmic threats to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Back to back disappointments for Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and the Fantastic Four First Steps certainly don't inspire strong confidence for Avengers Doomsday, which is filming right now, which all three 2025 Marvel Studios films are setting up in very varying ways. There's been some thin narrative connective tissue across this year's MCU movies, with vague hints of underworldly threats and dueling adventures teams forming. But based on the box office receipts for Marvel's 2025 output, the idea that these movies are setting the table for Doomsday hasn't lit a fire under theater goers. Marvel is no doubt hoping that the big payday going to Robert Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers will pay off in the long run. Betting on nostalgia and famous faces certainly worked for Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider Man No Way Home, both of which cracked $1 billion at the box office. But it's unclear how much longer Marvel can power itself on nostalgia. For now, Marvel is making big seven-figure bets on known quantities while trying to establish new teams of superheroes. Avengers Doomsday, with its stacked cast, may ultimately do gangbusters at the box office, and its successor, Avengers Secret Wars, could help reset the MCU, giving it the fresh restart it needs in 2027. But if audiences aren't showing up for the multiple movies, teeing up two more extremely expensive Avengers films, there might be a real cause for concern at the House of Ideas. What the? Yeah, that part too. Didn't really think about that though. I didn't really think about it like that though. Now it's very interesting. It's very interesting, and I bring up some of the YouTubers. There's some YouTubers that are critique. You know, they are critics. They critique on not only the storyline, but they critique on certain actors or whatever to portray a certain character. But you know, there's no such thing as a perfect movie and a perfect storyline. There's no such thing. And and I gotta really say though, man, like if the movie Fantastic Four first steps past $200 $200 million, I'm pretty sure By the time it already reached over $300 million. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be too much of a flop though. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's not going to be too much of a flop. Let me see where I left off. Okay, let me see where I left off here, so I don't forget. All right, let me make sure I don't forget. Hold on. What the hell? All righty then. Hold on a second here. Hang on one second. Yeah, this is where I was. This is where I was. Let me see. Yeah, so that's pretty much what that is actually. So, all right. Yeah, I want to get to this actually. So there is going to be a Harold and Kumar 4 sequel. So let's take a look. Yeah, Harold and Kumar 4 is happening. So let's take a look here, according to Variety. All right, so break out the White House castle. Break out the White Castle because Cal Penn and John Cho are expected to return for another Harold and Kumar adventure. Um, a fourth movie is in the works with the original Harold and Kumar writers John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg, set to direct a new installment in the Buddy Stoner comedy series. Variety has confirmed they will write the screenplay with Josh Heald, excuse me. Mandate Pictures, which is owned by Lionsgate, will produce the film. Cho and Penn are presumed to reprise their roles as Harold and Kumar, but no deals have been finalized. It's unclear if Neil Patrick Harris, who played a pivotal role in the film series, will be back. End quote. We're fired up to bring Harold and Kumar back in a return to the unapologetically already smoke filled chaos that started it all. Hurwitz and Schlossberg said in a statement to the Hollywood Reporter, which broke the news of Harold and Kumar 4. It's high time they puff and pass their wisdom onto a new generation. Just don't tell their kids. Oh man, the original. Oh shit, the original adventure 2004's Harold and Kumar go to White Castle follows two pals whose pot-fueled munchies trip to the fast food burger joint takes a zany turn. The comedy became a hit and spawned two sequels. 2008, Harold and Kumar escaped from Guantanamo Bay, and 2011's A Very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. Penn has long expressed a desire to return to Harold and Kumar's world. End quote. We would love to do a fourth movie. John Cho and I text about it all the time. Penn told Variety in 2020. John Horowitz and Hayden Schlossberg, who created and wrote all three movies in the franchise. We all would love to do one. I think we all thankfully have the blessing of being really busy right now and want to find the right venue and the right timing. All right. In other movie news, The Conjuring 4 The Conjuring 4 trailer news. We gotta get it. We gotta get into that right here, man. We gotta get into that right here. This is crazy. Um, it's crazy. This is the final horror movie. That's crazy, man. So this is crazy though, man. All right. So according to Screen Rant, the trailer for The Conjuring Last Rites has arrived. The new movie is the fourth installment in the flagship horror movie franchise, which has also launched the spin-off franchises Annabelle and The Nun. The upcoming Conjuring Last Rites, which is set to be the final installment following um, demo demonologist Ed, Patrick Wilson, and Lorraine Warren, played by Vera Farmiga, was directed by Michael Chavez, who previously helmed 2021's The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, 2023's The Nun 2, and the 2019 movie The Curse of um, La Llorona, which took which takes place in the same universe. Oh boy. Warner Brothers has now unveiled the official trailer for The Conjuring Last Rites. The trailer opens with Ed Warren giving a tour of their room of cursed artifacts, which includes the painting of the nun, Demon Valak, as well as the glass case containing the possessed doll Annabelle. After reflecting on their past work, which Ed estimates includes roughly 1,000 cases, a new evil emerges. After Lorraine sees a ghostly hand on her daughter's shoulder, the trailer cuts to a young girl being tormented by floating dolls before a demonic woman emerges from behind one of them. Lorraine insists that something is different with this new case, as a series of eerie images flash on the screen, including a sink filling with blood, a woman surrounded by copies of her own reflection, and more. The title cards offer audiences a chance to find out why this case was the Warrens' last before the trailer closes on a demonic voice telling Lorraine that they've been waiting so patiently for you. And of course, if you didn't check out the trailer, check it out on YouTube. Everything about the trailer points to the fact that this is the end of the line for the Warrens. While the franchise can continue on without them, considering the fact that it has already proven how much strong spin-off potential there is in the overall Conjuring universe, it seems that the flagship franchise is truly coming to a close. This confirmation could mean that the movie will put both Warrens in mortal mortal peril. In real life, Ed Warren died at home in 2006, while Lorraine Warren died in her sleep in 2019. However, the franchise has always presented a highly fictionalized account of the stories of the Warrens, as well as the investigations detailed in their case files. Therefore, it is entirely possible that one or both, of their characters could die by the end of the movie, ending their long-time run in the Conjuring cast, especially considering the fact that Ed Warren was experiencing significant health issues in the most recent installment. I'll take on the Conjuring Last Rites trailer. Another major thing that this trailer reveals is that The Conjuring Last Rites is not resting on its laurels. While it does seem to be a sort of victory lap that features many of the iconic demons that the franchise has already introduced, they are not simply relying on previous antagonists to spark fear in the audience. Instead, they seem to be continuing to push the franchise forward with a new demon and new characters being menaced, even though it seems that the overarching story of the flagship franchise will come full circle. All right. All right, we got one more movie trailer to talk about. I've seen this trailer on YouTube actually. It's actually out right now. Um it's produced by Spike Lee. It's called Higher Highest to Lowest. All right, so let's talk about Highest to Lowest. Highest to Lowest movie trailer news. Let's talk about that. Let's see. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. So, all right, this is from Deadline here. Apple and A24 today unveiled the first official trailer for Highest to Lowest, their Kurosawa inspired crime thriller. Excuse me, reuniting Spike Lee and Denzel Washington for the first time since Inside Man back in 2006. The film will hit theaters on August 15th, before arriving on Apple TV Plus on September 5th. The story is a modern reinterpretation of Akira Kurosawa's 1963 classic High and Low, which was itself based on the novel King's Ransom by Ed McBain. While the original thriller follows a shoe company exec who becomes a victim of extortion when his chauffeur's son is kidnapped by mistake and held for ransom. The new film, set in contemporary NYC, which is New York City, sees a music mogul played by Washington contend with a similar plot. Also starring ASAP Rocky as well as Jeffrey Wright, um, Elfinesh Hadera, Dean Winters, John Douglas Thompson, and Ice Spice. Highest to Lowest debuted out of competition at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival. It was the sixth time Lee debuted a film in the Cannes of official selection and marked 36 years to the day since his first appearance with Do the Right Thing. Developed and produced by Apple and A24, Escape Artists, and Mandalay Pictures. The film is written by Alan Fox. Todd Black produced for Escape Artists alongside Jason Michael Berman for Mandalay Pictures. Exec producers included Lee for 40 Acres and a Mule Filmworks, and Mandalay's Peter Guber, as well as Juniper, Ju, Junip, Juniper Productions, Matthew Lindner, Chris Brigham, and KTL Washington. Mandalay's Jordan Moldo served as co-producer. You can check out the trailer for Highest to Lowest above. You can also check it out on YouTube, and of course, the movie. The movie doesn't come out till, like I said, it'll hit theaters on August 15th before arriving on Apple TV Plus on September 5th. So there you go, right there. So y'all more than welcome to actually check that out as well. All right, so let's go to all right, let's see. Let's see. Fun activities to do for the weekend. Let's go into that right here. Hold on a second. All right, hold on. Hold on. All right. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. All right. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Hold up. Hang on 1 second. Trying to find. All right. You know what? Let's do this. AM1 Metro. Okay. Mm, all right. All right. Let's get into this right here. Remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen, kid. Get it? Remains to be seen.
Yes, it is. I have a lineup of fun activities for you folks at home in the five boroughs and Long Island that's looking for some fun activities to do for the weekend. I got y'all. So I will gladly go over some fun activities to do for the weekend. So let's get into it right here with this. All right. So tomorrow is Friday, which is TGIF. Friday, August 8th, back to school giveaway. It's happening. Join Emblem Health Neighborhood Care for a special back to school event and giveaway. You and your child can visit Neighborhood Care for a backpack and pencil case giveaway just in time for the new school year. All visiting adults must be accompanied by their child to receive event giveaways. And the neighborhood care is um Neighborhood Care Crown Heights is located at 546 Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn. It starts from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. and it's free. Pickleball in the hall to mark National Pickle Day, the sport's 60th birthday, and the upcoming 2025 Major League Pickleball Finals. City Pickle is bringing the first ever regulation pickleball court to Grand Central Terminal's Vanderbilt Hall. In partnership with Major League Pickleball and sponsored by DoorDash, the 3-day pop up invites players of all skill levels to join the fun in one of NYC's most iconic landmarks. Grand Central Terminal is located at 89 East 42nd Street, Manhattan, New York. It starts from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, August 9th, explore orchids. Taiwan, a world of orchids. Immerse yourself in a stunning display of hundreds of pots of orchids and experience Taiwanese art and culture. Make orchid crafts, converse of orchid experts, engage with cultural activities, enjoy food and drinks, and so much more. The Queens Botanical Gardens is located at 43-50 Main Street, which is in Flushing, Queens. New York, and it starts from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is from $0 to $6. All right, next we have Mad Open House. Mad Open makers of all ages of a day of free admission and exhibition inspired creative projects to spark your inner artist. Cool off with a movie in the theater at Mad. Explore our exhibitions and create your own work of art with Mad's artists, educators stationed through the Museum of Arts and Design is located at 2 Columbus Circle, Manhattan, New York. It starts from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and it's free. Sunday, August 10th, National Dominican Day. The 43rd Annual National Dominican Day Parade celebrate Dominican culture and pride and festive floats, live performances, first responders, and local leaders. It's yeah, located at 6th Avenue between West 37th Street and West 38th Street, Manhattan, New York. It starts at 11 a.m. and it's free. Fad Market Summer Pop Up. This summer, Fad Market continues its monthly pop up series at Empire Stores in Dumbo. Bring a friend and browse a curated selection of handmade jewelry, apparel, bath and body care, tableware, artisan, artisano, packaged food, and more. The Empire Stores is located at 55 Water Street in Brooklyn, New York. It starts at 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's a free entry. So there you go. Of course, you can find more amazing things to do in New York City at events.amny.com for dozens more events around our area. You can check our sister sites QNS, which is Queens, QNS.com, brooklynpaper.com, bxtimes.com, and longislandpress.com. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I could find let me see. Okay. Let's see. www.timeout.com. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, this weekend. All right, so let's get into some more activities that's happening. Um, let's get to talking about the Jazz Age Lawn Party. All right, let me see. Yeah, the Jazz Age Lawn Party is one of the most spectacular things to do this summer on gorgeous Governor's Island. Step onto the ferry and back in time with thousands of revelers dressed to the 20s, 1920s, nines. During the event, enjoy live music from Michael Ari Arinella and his Dreamland Orchestra. The Charleston sip cost, learn the Charleston, sip cocktails, and have a picnic in the sunshine. The Jazz Age Lawn Party takes place on August 9th, and the 10th general admission costs $55 per person. You can purchase tickets here. Shakespeare in the Park that I've been hearing about. Central Park's newly renovated Delacorte Theater is set open on August 7th. Of course, it already happened already for Shakespeare in the Park's free performances of 12th night. The renovation focused on improving accessibility and modernizing the space for artists and audiences. Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Peter Dinklage, Lupita Nyong'o, and and Son, and Sandra O will perform in this year's shows, which will run through September 14th. Tickets are free, but you'll have to wait in line. Here's how to get them. Yeah. Let's see. Oh man. All right. Nomad Jazz Festival. A new musical event has entered the scene. The inaugural Nomad Jazz Festival will Nomad Festival will debut from August 9th to the 10th, with events happening across Flatiron and Nomad. The highest of the festival will take place in Madison Square Park. Expect headlining performers such as Liz Wright, Ravi, Coltrane, and the Roy Hargrove Big Band, along with some dance sets, including tap performers. You'll have the opportunity to participate in interactive performances from Asase Yard Dance Theater Assemble. Also expect face painting and tri stations hosted by AB Circuit, inviting children to explore the magic of the circus. The best part, it's completely free. Just show up with a blanket or lawn chair and some snacks. Then spend an hour or a whole day listening to live music and enjoying the company of your neighbors. Hold that thought. I hear ice cream truck. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to put it on mute. All right, so breaking NYC. Considering NYC is the birthplace of hip hop, it's the perfect place to see Breaking NYC, an energetic and historic journey through the evolution of hip hop culture through several dance styles: breaking, popping, locking, freestyle, crump, light feet, body percussion, and more. Theatrical producer Eric Krebs presents the 11-person performance several times each month at the 160 seat off Broadway Theater, which is located at 555 West 42nd Street. Prepare to be dazzled by these fast moving, high energy shows. Harlem Week. Harlem's historic artistic heritage will be on full display during the live series of events celebrating the people, arts, culture, and food of Harlem. This year's celebration, running from August 1st through the 17th, celebrates Harlem's Week's 51st anniversary and includes a block party and virtual summit. Even though it's called Harlem Week, the celebrations will cover more than 2 weeks this year. Events throughout the event include an uptown night market, musical performances, virtual dance parties, and live streams. They are also back with their cornerstone events such as the Percy Sutton Harlem 5K Run and Health Walk and A Great Day in Harlem. There are events for all ages, including a jazz performance, youth races, and climate change conference. The festivities first began back in 1974 as a one-time event only event called Harlem Day. It was intended to create a much needed positive vibe and pull the community out of its economic and social um, doldrums. Event organizers say the event grew from there into the annual festival we know and love today. Right, so MoMA PS1's warm up. All right, one of the hottest events of the summer is the aptly named MoMA PS1 warm up, and it's back for 2025 with an impressive lineup. This party turns the museum's courtyard into a dance floor with DJ sets and live performances on 6 Friday evenings in July and August. Every year since 1998, the summer long music festival at this Long Island City Art Museum explores how music can be a work of art, and this year is no exception. Think ballroom icons, spoken word artists, dystopian dark wave producers, and techno legends. The lineup features innovators in electronic music and celebrates new sounds from New York City and around the world. A few can't miss names include Mike Q, John Glacier, SARS, OK Williams, OK Williams Special Request, and DJ Stingray. Um, 313. Okay, so the tickets cost between $25 to $30 for general admission. And you can check out the full lineup for yourselves on timeout.com. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. NYC Summer Beer, Wine, and Spirits Fest. Join NYC Summer Beer, Wine, and Spirits Fest in Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen's intrep, intrepid museum this Friday, August 8th, for a special event that explores the world of wine and mixology. Hold on. I hear the ice cream truck, so let me put this on mute for a second till it pass. My apologies, folks. I had to put it on mute because of the ice cream truck that was passing by um, where I live. So I didn't want the music of the ice cream truck to be interfered, and I didn't want to get copy strike, so I had to put it on mute. So my apologies about that. So let's continue. With over 100 samples available, this is a great event to gather friends while enjoying your favorite libations. Sample a range of beverages throughout the evening while enjoying live entertainment, interactive games, and delicious food. Local vendors will be on site serving mouth-watering dishes that will pair perfectly with your drinks. You also have the opportunity to chat with brewery representatives, sommeliers, and master distillers to learn more about your favorite drinks and the craft of making them. And the event is from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. and general admission tickets are currently $80. Um, Includes the drink samples and a souvenir sample glass. If you are the designated driver, you can get a ticket for $18. Freakier Friday movie, which everybody's talking about, perhaps as the real world seems ever bleaker, escapism is what we all crave. That could be good news for Freakier Friday, a sequel that makes barely a lick of sense, but is infectious, ridiculous fun, and feels like a trip back to simpler times. Oh shit. Oh shit. The 2003 original had Jamie Lee Curtis and Lizzie Lohan as Anna and Tess, a bickering mother and daughter who undergo a body swap and learn to understand each other. 2 decades later, two decades, 2 decades years later, Tess is a renowned therapist who psychobabbles any conflict into submission. Anna is now a music exec and mom to a rebellious teenager, Harper, played by Julia Butters. I'm sure there are almost endless holes you could pick in its logic and storytelling, but it gives you few reasons to want to. This Friday is freakier, but it's kind of funner too, funnier, I guess. You can see it in theaters as of Friday, August 8th, which is tomorrow. Let's see. Classical music concerts at Lincoln Center. New York City has a glorious history of offering high quality art and culture for rock bottom prices. Rock bottom may not be what it once was, but at least the culture remains at the same high standard. And this summer, you can confirm that for yourself when Lincoln Center hosts concerts for as little as $5 through Saturday, August 9th. Or rather, $5 is the minimum amount for the choose what you pay fee structure. The concerts comprise the Festival Orchestra of Lincoln Center series, part of the Lincoln Center's Summer of the City, highlighting musicians from across the world who routinely perform the Lincoln Center with the Lincoln Center. You might better know might better know the festival orchestra from its previous iteration as the mostly Mozart Festival. The Jonas Brothers album release parties. SOS, the Jonas Brothers are celebrating 20 years of hits this year with a new album, not only a new tour, but two album release parties in New York City this August to celebrate. Greetings from Your Hometown officials officially drops um August 8th, which is tomorrow, which is when Jonas Brothers fans can officially enjoy the album at two separate events that promise giveaways and limited edition prizes. The Manhattan event will be held at 5 p.m. at Generation Records at 210 Thompson Street in Greenwich Village. This one will boost free tote bags and, and a raffle to win an autographed Jonas Brothers poster. At 6:30 p.m., the Greetings from Your Hometown release party begins at Greenpoint's for the record at 1107 Manhattan Avenue, where fans can enjoy free giveaways and extras with any album purchase. The event is free, no RSVPs required. And for all you sneakerheads, Fresh Kicks Fridays. New York will soon be graced with the greatest sneaker show on earth on August 9th and August 10th. SneakerCon is returning to the city, stopping over to Brooklyn Store House in the Navy Yard. The weekend long event will gather collectors, creators, and fair and exclusive sneakers, celebrating NYC's biggest sneaker weekend with style, sound, and culture is Timeout Market, serving as the official pregame for the sneaker heavy weekend. Timeout Market is hosting Fresh Kicks Fridays on Friday, August 8th, which is tomorrow. The party is going down or really up on the market's fifth floor rooftop with tunes from uh, DJ Long Island. Wow. Oh man. DJ Long Island and DJ Fat Fingers. Oh shit. And specialty drinks courtesy of Patron Tequila. Looking to start the weekend off on the right foot. The market the market will be raffling off a pair of 2025 undefeated Air Jordan 4s plus a Timeout Market gift card. So sport your finest souls for this party. Um okay, let's see. Okay, Bark Barbecue Rooftop Takeover Experience at Timeout Market NYC. The cookout is always on at Timeout Market. That's all thanks to Ruben Santana, who parked his Dominican and Texas style BBQ pop up, Bark Barbecue, at the food hall in 2022. But since we are currently in season of summer, the barbecue stand is bringing back its annual all out bash on the roof. To no one's surprise, it's guaranteed to be a banger. On August 9th, Bark Barbecue is taking over the fifth floor rooftop for an unforgettable day of BBQ, beats, and booze. This all day experience features two exclusive tiers, so you can indulge your way. You can reserve your tickets here. Um, yeah, make sure you click the word here, and it's going to give you some information on the price of the tickets and all that stuff. So FAD, Fad Market. Shop till you drop at Fad Market, a curated fashion, art, and design pop up marketplace, which is back for 2025. Expect to see your favorite makers plus brand new creatives to help you live smarter, gift better, and support local businesses. Per use handmade jewelry, apparel, skincare products, tableware, arti, arti, artisano, packaged food, and more. Whether you are shopping for you or a friend, or even getting in early on that holiday shopping, there are plenty of local gems to pick up. Of course, here's what's coming up. Starting August 9th through the 10th, Summer Market at Empire Stores in Dumbo. August 16th through the 17th, Governor's Island Market. All right. And for people that live in Brooklyn, I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with Coney Island, right? With all the rides and stuff. Coney Island is having an event for fireworks. So it's Coney Island fireworks. So let's let's get into the nitty gritty of this right here. Don't bother with Orlando. Coney Island is its very own magical kingdom, setting off free sensational fireworks every Friday night all summer long. Grab a frank and get yourself a comfortable spot on the boardwalk to celebrate the end of the work week every week. Friday night fireworks run through Labor Day. Fireworks begin at approximately 9:45 p.m. and launch in front of Dino's Wonder Wheel Park, providing a breathtaking backdrop to the iconic board, boardwalk and amusement parks. The spectacular show is presented by the Alliance for Coney Island. And Weapons, the rated R horror movie, is coming out tomorrow as well. So, if laughter is the best medicine, this gut twisting tale of vanishing kids from American comedian turned horror a tour, Zach Kreger, comes with its own built in cure. Put simply, if Weapons wasn't the best horror movie of the year, piping even the mighty Sinners, it would probably be the best comedy. The last 30 minutes alone is a whirlwind of laughs and scares that ties up the movie's naughty narrative in a singular fashion. So it's in cinemas worldwide. Weapons, the rated R movie horror film, is going to be coming out tomorrow, Friday, August 8th. Of course, make sure you get your tickets to check out the movie. So there you go, right there. This is where I'm going to wrap up here. Actually, hold on. We got some video game news that we got to talk about here. Actually, some video game news we got to talk about here. All right. All right. Some video game news we got to talk about here. I want to actually get into. Ooh, okay. All right. We got some video game news we got to talk about and some releases. And stuff. So let's get into. All right. So let's get into. All right. Let's get into. Um. This segment right here, video game entertainment room. All right, let's do this. All right. All right. Let's get into hang on one second here. Hang on one second. Let me get into this right here. All right. Where in the hell is all right, damn. Hold on. Okay, let's get into some releases actually. So, let me find it. All right. Hold on. Where was I? Okay. All right. Let's get into some releases. Okay. Video game releases. All right. Let's get into it right here. So we're talking the month of August. We're talking the month of August actually. So let's get into here. All right, so the month of August actually. So I actually left off with let's see. All right, I'm gonna actually start off with okay, so all right, so tomorrow Battle Mythic Maidens Arena comes out tomorrow, August 8th, which is for PS5, PS4, and PC. Mafia comes out tomorrow as well. Mafia the Old Country for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, following Slackjaw for PC. August 11th, Firefly Village for PC. Echoes of the Echoes of the End comes out August 12th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, following Fallen City Brawl. Also comes out on the same day for PC, and Shields of Loyalty for PC. That's August 12th. August 13th, Fractured Core for PC. August 14th, A Fistful of Yankees for PC, following Drag and Drive for Nintendo Switch 2. Madden NFL 26 for PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. Also coming out on the 14th is Ovis Loop PC, Horde Lord, August 18th for PC. August 19th, Sword of the Seas, PS5 and PC. Core dot sys, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. August 20th. Al- Althea, The Wrath of a Fairy for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and PC comes out August 21st. Also coming out on the 21st is This County, PS5, Xbox Series, and Nintendo Switch and PC. Vlad Circus Curse of Osmodeus for PC, excuse me, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Comes out August 25th. Also coming out on the 25th is Particle Hearts. Particle Hearts for PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and PC. All right, I'm gonna stop right there. I'll actually continue with Gears of War and the rest for next time. And for next time, all right. So I'm actually going to I'm gonna wrap up here actually. So this is just I'm gonna wrap up here. Hold on. All right. Okay, we're gonna wrap up right here with this. Stream choices on the go. Let's get into it right here, right now. All right. Make sure you follow Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast on Blue Sky Social, Facebook, alongside with Threads and Instagram. The same goes with my other two podcast shows. Sports Edition Show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, Entertainment Review Show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. It's also on there as well. And you can also follow your host with the most G Money Stacks 555 in media place Threads. You can also follow on Instagram as well. And now we're gonna get into where you can actually listen to the podcast episodes and all that great stuff right there. Um, Now, if you go to the Linktree link where it says Linktree G Money Stacks 555. You're gonna see a whole list of you're gonna see a whole list of streaming podcast feed links, and I'm gonna go over it right here. So you're gonna see Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review. It really means a lot to me if you actually tell me what you think about the episodes and topics on Apple Podcasts. So that way it'll give me the strength and confidence to keep growing this show out and to get more topics for you folks to listen to, something to relieve you with from all the stressful events, which is what I'm here to do. So there you go, right there. So Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM podcast, Overhaul FM podcast, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Panorama Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic, Snip, Spotify. Make sure you add the podcast to your Spotify playlist if you have it on your phones, like your iPhones, your Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, laptops included, by Mac and by Apple Mac and Dell laptop models. All right. And you can also listen to the episodes on Spotify for creators. You can also comment on there as well. And be sure to also listen on TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the #1 app where you can listen to your favorite music artists such as rappers, R&B singers, and other music genres, hip hop artists, radio stations, and of course podcast episodes. You can also listen to podcast episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is follow and subscribe to Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, the comedy, along with other streaming platforms that I just mentioned, and also do the same with YouTube. The podcast is also on YouTube on my primary YouTube channel page. Make sure you subscribe to the channel G Money Stacks 555 for more live video podcast episode live streams, of course video uploads, and of course press the notification bells so you'll be notified on when I'll be on the air via live stream with new episode topics. Of course, share the Linktree link of podcast feed links to your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, the people you are cool with from work, and of course, leave a like and a comment along with the episodes. Tell me how you feel about the topics in today's episode and all that great stuff right here. And of course, like I said, add the podcast to your Spotify playlist so that way you'll be able to catch up on the episodes that's dropping. You'll be notified on when new episodes will be dropping on Spotify. And of course, enable alerts for new episodes that'll be dropping on every streaming platform, including YouTube, whenever you listen, stream, and watch your podcast. All right. So there you go. Right there. Now, it's about it for me. It's about that time. I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, and I like to say thank you to every single one of you at home, especially those in the international areas outside the United States, and of course, and of course, um, the states, including the tri-state area of New Jersey, Connecticut, and of course the 5 boroughs of New York, plus Long Island, and everywhere else. You could have listened to any podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this comedy platform right here, this comedy show off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, which really means a lot to me. Y'all really helped me to go past 400 episodes. I appreciate the inspiration, the encouragement, and like I always say at the end of the podcast recording, remember the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. Of course, follow your goals and dreams, find your niche on whatever talent you're trying to do. Don't let anyone or anything stop you, even if it's life related. You want to be able to find a balance. You want to be able to find a balance between work and having time for yourself. And also, if you plan on being a podcaster, and you want to start one, I will gladly give some tips in a segment that I do, which is podcast free game mechanisms. I'm probably gonna do that segment on a frequent basis. If I run out of topics to talk about, I'll actually do that segment as well. And of course, before I forget, be yourself behind the microphone. Be on your P's and Q's. Creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That gets you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. Also, if you plan on starting a podcast, I like to say this though: you don't need a lot of money to actually for a fancy studio to record your podcast episodes, to actually get yourself off the ground. All you need, like I said, you need a laptop, headphones, a microphone, a supporting software like StreamYard, which is what I use actually, and yeah. So there is no book or manual on how to figure things out. Don't worry about trying to figure things out. Everybody doesn't have everything fucking figured out. So just be yourself. Have fun with your craft and your podcast, which is which is very therapeutic, and of course it's a way to actually relax and be entertained, especially in your leisure time of video games and other stuff too. So yeah, I'll be back with new episodes in the next episode. Tune in next time. I will actually talk about the end of Skype. So you want to know why Skype is ending? You have to tune in next time on the next episode right here on this platform. Same YouTube channel, same place, same time, and I'll gladly, tell you why in the next episode. So take be safe, and if you're looking for cooling centers, make sure you call 311. And of course, we're having another third round of a heat wave that's happening in the beginning of next week. So please make sure you have your bottles of water. Make sure you have your Gatorades for electrolytes. Make sure you make sure you are cooling yourself off in a air conditioner like I am now, and 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 let's not have any let's and be careful out there with the air quality when it comes to the heat wave, man. Some people have been hospitalized because they fainted. um I actually talked about this previously of the students that were graduating, and and of course heat strokes is very common, and and be careful out there. Be safe. Be safe, and stay liquid. And of course, if you are doing deliveries like delivering foods DoorDash, DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats, if you're doing anything driving related like Amazon, UPS, FedEx, and other side hustles, please feel free to grab yourself some bottles of water and of course a Gatorade for electrolytes. So that way you won't faint out there in this crazy fucking horrible heat wave. All right. And of course, make sure you have ACs. And of course, make sure you have ACs at your crib. Cooling centers, they'll give you some location listings in a neighborhood near you. I'm out of here. Peace and one love. I'll see y'all next time on the flip side with new episodes, and I'll tell you why Skype is ending in the next episode and all that great stuff right there. And if you missed any of the the fun activities that I actually recommended and all that other stuff, you're more than welcome to listen to this episode 412, which is titled "Will 106 in Park Become a Podcast?" That's actually a dedication to the 25th anniversary of 106 in Park. And I did talk about the spinoff and stuff. So you're more than welcome to actually listen to it after this recording is done. All right. Peace and one love. I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Good night, everybody.